Welcome back, students. Standard 6th, Subject Maths, Chapter Integers, Part 3. Practice set 6 and 7. Now, while solving practice set 5, I discussed something about opposite numbers. Now, what are opposite numbers? You can see again the rabbits have come hopping. There is a number line, okay? They have given the positive integers, negative integers, a 0 is there. And you can see now there are two rabbits, okay? Both are hopping in opposite direction. One is hopping towards right, other is hopping towards left. One is hopping towards positive integers, other is hopping towards negative integers. But their starting position is same, that is 0, the origin. So what are opposite numbers now? Now you will see here that both the rabbits have started from the same position, that is 0. Okay, from here we'll see how many units the rabbit has moved towards right. So the rabbit who is moving towards right or hopping towards right has moved 1, 2 and 3 units. Okay, and now we will see the rabbit which is hopping towards the left from the original position, that is 0, 1, 2 and 3. So both the rabbits have moved to the same distance, 3 units to the right and other one 3 units to the left. And where they have reached? The right rabbit has reached to positive 3 and the left rabbit has moved towards, reached at the position negative 3. And wherever they have reached, okay, after hopping same units, they have reached to the opposite numbers. So what are these opposite numbers? Opposite numbers are at the same distance from 0 but in opposite direction. Okay, so you will see here that opposite numbers are nothing but they are the numbers at the same distance from 0. So you will see here positive 3 and negative 3 are at a same distance from 0. From 0, 3 units to the right is positive 3 and 3 units to the left is negative 3. Okay, so from 0, these numbers are at same distance but in opposite direction. So one is towards left, other right, other is towards left. So here I will say positive 3 and negative 3 are opposite numbers. So positive 3 and negative 3 are not the only opposite numbers. There are many opposite numbers. In fact, all the numbers have their opposite numbers. Okay, so this is one thing what we learned. Now we come here to we'll study some more or the other opposite numbers. Now, this is a number line I have taken, for example, with the origin 0. I have positive integers here. Sorry, I forgot to mention the positive sign. Very important. And negative sign, negative integers. Now, if I am moving 4 units to my right or to the right of the number line. So what is the origin? 0. In order to understand the opposite numbers, we have to start from 0. Okay. So one direction is right of 0 and other direction is left of 0. So moving 4 units to the right. So I can say 1, 2, 3, 4. So I got positive 4. And same units I will move towards left now. From 0. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have reached negative. So here positive 4 and negative 4 are opposite integers. So I'll write positive 4 and negative 4. In this way, all the numbers have opposite numbers. Now another example. We can. Now if I am moving maybe 6 units to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I got positive. And same 6 units I have to move towards left from 0. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And where did I reach? Negative 6. So here in this case, positive 6 and negative 6 are two opposite. In this way, you will have the opposite numbers for all the numbers. You can take any example. So positive 5, what is the opposite number? Negative 5. Okay. So positive 30, negative 30. Okay. Positive 4,000, negative 4,000. Okay. These are the opposite numbers. I hope this is clear. Okay. Because based on this, we have our next practice set, which I am going to solve in the textbook itself, but you will write it in the notebook. Okay. So here, practice set 6, write the opposite numbers of each of the numbers given below. So very simple. I'll write in pencil. So even if you all are solving it in the textbook, you will solve with pencil, but it is compulsory to write in the notebook also. Okay, so it is not that I have solved it in the textbook, so I will not write this practice set in the notebook. No, you have to write this practice set, you have to make this table and you have to write it in the notebook also. So we start. As I said, it is very simple. So opposite numbers are nothing but same number with the opposite sign. Okay, so just now we have studied, I'll show you again. Opposite numbers are nothing but it is the same number with opposite sign. So positive 6, opposite is negative 6. If I give you negative 30, positive 30 is the opposite number. So here we come to our practice set 6. Now here 47. No sign. And we have studied already. No sign means positive. Okay, so you don't make positive there. You just keep in your mind that no sign means positive. So what will be the answer? Negative 47. Positive 52. Negative 52. Negative 33. Positive 33. Write the same number and just change the sign. Negative 84. Positive 84. Negative 21. Positive 21. Positive 16. Negative 16. And now these two sums are for homework. That is, you have to study on your own. Okay, I don't think it will be difficult for you all, because opposite numbers are nothing but the same number with a different sign or the opposite sign. Positive becomes negative, negative becomes positive. Now, after learning this, there is one more statement here. The sum of two opposite numbers is 0. Okay, this is very important and this is what we solved in practice set 5, which we had got there. That is plus positive 4 and negative 4. So just to explain you here, Now what is the sum of two opposite numbers is 0. So if I take here positive 32 and negative 32. So positive 32 and negative 32 are two opposite numbers. So when I take the addition of these two opposite numbers, okay, so the answer is 0. Okay, so addition of any two opposite numbers. So if you take minus 6 and maybe plus 6. So I have taken the sum of minus 6 and plus 6. The answer is 0 only. If you say that there is a bracket, yes, solve the bracket then if you want. Plus into plus is plus. And the answer is 0. Okay, so whenever you get two opposite numbers together to solve, the answer is always 0. So in that case you can take any number. Okay, I take 174. So negative 174 and positive 174, if I have to solve, answer is 0. Take any, for in that case take any number, opposite numbers, and the answer is 0. Okay, so you can, these two things what we have studied. First thing is about opposite numbers. I hope you are clear with what are opposite numbers. They are just the same numbers with different sign. Okay, and when there are two opposite numbers and you have to solve, the answer is always 0. So the statement is given on page number 18, right at the bottom here of the page. Opposite numbers are at the same distance from 0 but in opposite direction. Okay, and the sum of two opposite numbers is always 0. Remember this, because in any of the calculation you might get this kind of calculation with two opposite numbers and your answer should be 0. Okay, so just giving you any example here for that case. So if I write positive 9 and negative 9, answer is 0. If I give positive 11, negative 11, answer is 0. If I give you negative 13, positive 13, answer is 0. Okay, I think this is very simple and it is clear. Okay, after learning what are opposite numbers, and we also studied that the addition of two opposite numbers together is 0. So whenever you get to solve any two opposite numbers, you have to write the answer as 0. Okay, after this we are going to study how to compare integers. Okay, we have been studying comparing of the numbers from the lower standards also, that when we compare two numbers, which number is greater, which number is smaller, or the numbers are equal. Okay, so usually the signs what we use for comparing is these signs. Okay, greater, smaller, and equal to sign. Okay, so here we are going to compare the integers. In order to compare the integers, first we have to study which are greater integers and which are the smaller integers. Okay, so we have studied in the lower standard, right from first standard, that which is a greater number, which is a smaller number. In that case, if I give you a very simple number, okay, it is easier for you all to tell. Okay, so if I give that, if I tell you all that 130, okay, and 13. So we just have to compare this number. That is, we know that 130 is a greater number and 13 is a smaller number, and we just simply put this symbol. Okay, so it is easier for us to solve this comparison. Or if in another example I give you, that is 45 and 45, and I ask you to compare. So what is the symbol what you are going to put is equal to. Okay, so it is very easier to compare the numbers which are positive numbers. Okay, 130 is a positive number, 13 is a positive number. 45 again is a positive number. But what happens with this sum if I give you a maybe, yes, so negative 13 and 12. So when there is a negative number, how to compare? It is very simple. Okay, we have studied the number line and it is very simple to understand the greater number and the smaller number in integers. So coming back to the number line. Okay, here you'll see I have drawn a number line with the positive integers, negative integers and 0. Let me just put the positive sign here. Okay, now remember the value of the numbers on the number line increases from left to right. Okay, again I am repeating that the value of the numbers on the number line increases from left to right. Okay, so the direction is left to right. The value goes on increasing. Okay, it is very simple to understand the positive integers. We always know, we have known that positive 2 is greater than positive 1. So the value is increasing. So naturally positive 6 is greater than positive 5. Positive 6 is greater than positive 2. Okay, we know these positive numbers. Okay, or 1 is greater than 0 or 4 is greater than 0. But what happens when it comes to negative numbers? So in negative numbers, as I told you that the integers, when we are studying the comparison of integers on the number line, the value goes on increasing from left to right. So minus 6 is less than minus 5. Minus 5 is greater than minus 6. As I told you that the value goes on increasing as you move towards the right. Okay, from left to right. So the numbers which are towards the left are less in their value. Okay, so negative 6 is less than negative 5. Negative 5 is less than negative 4. Negative 4 is less than negative 3. Negative 3 is less than negative 2. Negative 2 is less than negative 1. Negative 1 is less than 0. 0 is less than 1. 1 is less than 2. 2 is less than 3. As I told you that these numbers, positive numbers, are very easy to understand because from childhood we are learning that 2 is greater than 1 or 1 is greater than 0. But when it comes to negative integers, how you will remember this? Remember that in negative numbers, okay, as you increase the number, the value decreases. In negative numbers, as you increase the number, the value decreases. That is, on this number line, negative 6 is the smallest. So negative 6 is smaller than negative 3. You will say 3 is smaller, not 6. Okay, but remember it is a negative integer. It happens in positive. In positive, if we are comparing 6 and 3, in positive numbers, we will say that 6 is greater. But same numbers, when we are comparing in negative integers, negative 6 becomes less than negative 3. Okay, so there are many ways that you will remember, but understand the concept, that is the value of the numbers goes on increasing from left to right. So whichever number is on the number line to the left hand side is smaller. So if I ask you to compare maybe negative 4 and negative 1. Okay, so if we are comparing negative 4 and negative 1. From this negative 4 and negative 1, which is to the left hand side? Negative 4. So the one which is to the left is smaller. So negative 4 is smaller. When you solve more sums with the comparison, it will become easier for you. Positive, I don't have to explain you. As I told you, if I give you positive numbers, for example, I give you 7 and 10. You know that 10 is greater. Okay, but when it comes to negative numbers, comparing with the negative integers, then you have to remember that the numbers, the value of the numbers increases from left to right. So the integer which is to the left has less value. Okay, I hope it is clear. I'll give you more examples. Before that, first we will solve problem set or practice set. We come to page number 19 of your textbook. Again, this I'm solving it here in the textbook itself. If you want to solve in the textbook, please use pencil, but it is also compulsory to solve the same practice set in the notebook also. So here we are going to compare now with the greater, smaller or the equal to sign. Okay. Now, first sum. Negative 4 and positive. When we are comparing a negative number and a positive number, always remember the positive numbers are always greater. Because the positive numbers are all towards right. And the negative numbers are all towards left. And I have explained you that the numbers to the left of the number line are always smaller. So when we are comparing a positive and a negative number, always remember the negative number is smaller and the positive number is greater. So 5 is greater. So minus or negative 4 is smaller than 5. Second one. Again, positive 8 and negative 10. No sign means positive. So I told you, whenever you are comparing a positive and a negative number, the positive number is always greater. So 8 is greater than negative 10. Third one. Positive 9 and positive 9. Both are same. So equal. Positive 6 and 0. Okay. 0 has no sign. Always remember, when you are comparing 0 plus 0 is greater. And when you are comparing 0 with positive integers, the positive integers are greater. I'll tell you how. Look here on the number line. When you are comparing 0 and the negative integers are to the left. And always remember, the numbers which are to the left of the number line are always small. So negative integers will always remain towards the left. So when we are comparing 0 with negative numbers, 0 is always greater. And when we are comparing 0 and the positive numbers, then the positive numbers are always greater. Because in this case, the positive numbers are to the right. And I told you, the right side number is always greater. And the left side number is always smaller. So when we are comparing 0 and these numbers, positive, 0 is to the left. Okay, 0 is to the left. And positive numbers are to the right. So 0 is to the left. So 0 becomes smaller when you are comparing 0 and the positive numbers. Now coming back to the sum. 0 and negative. I told you, when you are comparing 0 and negative, the negative are always smaller. So here negative 6 is smaller than 0. Now coming to 7 and 4. Both are positive. Okay, so in positive numbers, the greater number is always greater. 7 is greater because 7 lies to the right hand side and the 4 lies to the left hand side. So if I increase this here, 6 and 7, if I make here on this number line, when we are comparing 4 and 7, 4 is to the left. 7 is to the right. So 7 is greater and 4 is smaller. This is simple with two positive numbers, as I told you. 3 and 0. 3 is naturally greater than 0. Okay. So when we are comparing 0 with any positive number, those positive numbers are greater. Seventh one, positive and a negative. I told you when we are comparing positive and negative numbers, positive number is always greater. So negative 7 is smaller than 7. Again, positive and negative. Negative 12 and positive 5. So when we are comparing the positive and the negative is always smaller. So negative 12 is smaller than. Just see that you put the correct sign. Okay. Negative and negative. Okay. So this also I explained you on the number line when we are comparing two negative numbers. Okay. When we are comparing two negative numbers, the number which is to the left is smaller and the number which is to the right is greater. Okay. So when we are comparing, now the sum which is given here is negative 2 and negative 8. Okay. So when we are comparing negative 2 and negative 8, negative 2 is here, negative 8 will be towards left. Okay. After negative 6 is negative 7 and after negative 7 is negative 8. So when we are comparing negative 2 and negative 8, negative 8 is towards left. So negative 8 is smaller and negative 2 is greater. So negative 2 is greater than negative 8. This is what will come here also. That is in negative 2 and negative 8, negative 2 is greater. And I told you when we are comparing two negative numbers, if both are negative, then the smaller number becomes greater in value. So according to us, in positive 2 is smaller than 8. But both are negative, then the negative 2 becomes greater. Okay, so I have taught you, see that how you will remember. Okay, if you draw the negative 2 and negative 8 on the number line, negative 8 will go towards the left hand side and negative 8 will go towards left hand side and negative 2 will be on the right. And therefore whichever is on the right is greater, whichever is on the left is smaller. Negative 1 and negative 2. Again, if I show you on the number line, both are negative, negative 1 and negative 2. Which is to the left? Negative 2 is to the left. And what is to the right? Negative 1. So left one is smaller, right one is greater. So here negative 1 is greater than negative 2. And here 6 and 3, minus 3. This is very simple. A positive and a negative number, positive is always greater. So positive 6 is greater. And the last, negative 14 and negative 14. Both are same numbers with same sign. So they become equal. Now this practice set what I have solved in the textbook, you have to write this in the notebook. Okay, so you can make this column here or you can write one below the other. Whatever is easier for you. Okay, and this statement is also important. Now I know on the number line, every number is greater than the number on its immediate left by 1. Same thing I explained you, that if you are comparing any two numbers, the number which is on the left is smaller and the number which is on the right is greater. The value of the number increases from left to right. Okay, so as you move from left to right, the value goes on increasing. Okay, so if this is a number line given, if we are moving from left, this is the left side, this is the right side. When we are moving from left to right, the value increases. 0, then 1 increases, then 2, 3, increasing. Okay, here also negative. After minus 4, the greater is minus 3. After minus 3, greater is minus 2. After minus 2, greater is minus 1. And after minus 1, greater is 0. When we are comparing with 0, 0 and a positive numbers are greater. And 0 with negative numbers, the negative numbers are smaller and 0 is greater. I hope this is clear. Homework. Complete practice set 6 and 7 in your notebook. Bye. Stay home. Stay safe. Thank you.